doctor, I know you want me to take this medication, but I read on the internet that this is no good, that it's going to interact, it's going to cause a side effect. I saw the commercial on TV. Does that scenario ever happen to you? Will you tell the doctor or you tell somebody in their field something? Do you know what O.P.B is? What does this have to do with wine? You're going to find out. Hi, I'm Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and a senior wine and spirit specialist here at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits in North Miami Beach, Florida. It's what we call O.N.D. That's another abbreviation, October, November, December. And this is the fun time for me, as some of our products that were out of stock, that are small production, people are starting to visit South Florida. The snowbirds are starting to trickle in. We've got Thanksgiving, family holidays coming around, the whole holiday season, New Year's Eve, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. Just people are more in that festive mood during those 3 months. It starts around that Halloween time. It's my favorite time of year to be in this business. However, it could also be a tough time for a business. And have you never heard the expression, other people's brains? O.P.B. You should live your life that way. There's a plug out there to my friend Lou Rodriguez. I hope he's watching this video. I know he follows his blog. He is a real estate listing agent with, I don't know, I think 35 years experience in everything from mortgages to title company to finding the property. When I want to buy a house, I don't want somebody telling me to go see this person who just graduated Gold Coast School. I don't want to go myself on Trillo or whatever they call that site that you look up your own houses. I go to Lou because he's a certified a professional of what he does. This is what he lives. And guess what he does when he wants to find out about wine? He only talks to me. He calls me his personal sommelier. And around the holiday time, we've talked about this before, there's going to be a lot of people giving you advice that you should be using O.P.B, in my opinion. You should be using other people's brain. They'll tell you that their manicurist is their person who's their connoisseur in their life when it comes to wine. And they'll tell you that they will listen to their recommendation. They give you a picture on a phone. The manicurist doesn't know what year, and they go out buying that, and yet they do nails. Not to say that they don't like wine and they can't give you a recommendation, but we have wine and spirit specialists like myself. I happen to be a sommelier. And to hedge your bets, it's better to use that expertise. I'm dumb about everything. But when it comes to wine, I'm pretty good about developing credibility with my guests, and that's why I have repeat customers, because we give you advice based on your palate from getting to know you over a relationship visit, and that's the person you want to use, I think. So I got this whole idea basically from my own doctor, my cardiologist. I went to a visit, and I'm like everybody, I'm a consumer, and I'm using his services. He's a cardiologist. Dr. Vincent Font at Cardiology Associates, give him a little plug, at Holy Cross Medical in Fort Lauderdale, a great cardiologist. I see him for a benign condition that he monitors. And he said, Larry, you're going to be 59 in December. Are you taking your baby aspirin every day? I said, no, doctor. I was just like the customers in the wine industry or any other retail industry. No, I read on Google or WebMD, somewhere it said on Google that if you take aspirin, science shows now that it can cause bleeding and the risks outweigh the benefit. And he just pointed behind him to a sign. And he must hear that like I hear. My manicurist told me, or I was told to buy this brand on whatever it is, and during the holiday time, this is what they ask for, this is their favorite. He must hear that as a doctor a million times a day, that somebody, so behind him, he made a sign so he doesn't have to repeat the same answer. And it hit home with me because he was right. I listened to him. The sign said, my medical degree is better than your Google search. And it really hit home, and I went, and till this day, I take a baby aspirin because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a cardiologist, but I am a sommelier. So some of the new products I want to go over, I like to talk about champagnes. I love bubbles, but the real champagnes that some of our best have been out of stock for quite a long time in ABC, and that's good because they're small producers, but now they're starting to trickle in, and I want to show you some of them that are option for you that I'm highly recommending, as opposed to some of the brands that you may come in and ask for because your manicure told you. First of all, I want to talk about my favorite champagne, excuse me bending, but since I have no camera person, as I always say, One of the few champagne houses, Moutard, that uses, they call it the Cuvée des Six Cépages. Cépage means grapes. All 6 grapes that are authorized or permitted to be used in champagne are Bon, Petit Meslier. This box tells you all the 6 grapes, has a little thing there in writing. It comes in this gift box, $59.99. This is a 2009 vintage. Supposed to be wonderful, but it's always year after year one of my favorite champagne. $59.99. Would you like to bling it up a little bit? Bling it up? Yes. They make a limited edition, been out of stock for a year. I've showed you these before. It's the same bottle, different vintage. It's a 2008 that I tasted last year. This is $74.99 for the gold-plated edition of that bottle. You buy 2 of these with your ABC card, which our deal is 10 off $100 or more. Every increment of $100 gets $10 back. On wine, it excludes all products that end in an 8, which are a lot of the national brand. Of course, this is not going to end in an 8. You get $10 off, so you're $150 for 2 bottles, and then minus 10, $140, and that's less expensive than a lot of the size bottle that don't have this kind of quality of all 6 grapes, and you're about $20 less than most average vintage champagnes of the brand names you know. They're demi-sec. Demi-sec, a lot of means semi-sweet or semi-dry. This is 100% Pinot Noir from Moutard, non-vintage. A lot of the products out there, the big names, people don't know what demi-sec, so they call themselves, basically they're off-dry. They're a little bit sweet, semi-sweet. And the brands will say the word rich on them, rich, which is another name for demi-sec, semi-sweet, or nectar is a popular one used by a lot of brands. They'll say nectar. And anything that says nectar, whether it's white, rosé, that means it's a demi-sec champagne. In Champagne, real Champagne, France, they allow the word nectar to be called, I guess they allow that to be used for demi-sec, but those are in the $50, $60. This nectar, which to me is the best, everyone who knows it has had it in years prior, says it's the best demi-sec or nectar of the gods they've ever had. $29.99. Do some consumer shopping of the brands that people are recommending to you and see if that's not at least half the price of what's out there in the demi-sec brand. And if you want to go big or go home, that gold bottle limited edition, these are very limited, and you know the ones that are out there represented that are gold bottle. How do you make an impression on a party? Go big or go home and supersize that gold bottle limited edition. This is the 2009, the smaller one, 2008. They don't make a lot of these. It comes in a nice blue, beautiful box that you can present as a gift, and it has all the names of the grapes on the back, and you can comb your hair in it. What to make an impression on this bottle of one of our best champagne in the store. This double-sized bottle, $149.99. That's over $100. Doesn't end in an 8, so you will get $10 off. That means every bottle with your ABC card will be $139.99. Still cheaper than most of the smaller size brand name and a 750 milliliter that people buy, and you know those names. You can spend $200, $300, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best champagnes ever made in the world. All 6 permitted grapes. So remember, O.P.B, use those other people's brains. Don't ask me about the stock market. Don't ask me about real estate. I'll defer you to somebody else that has the brain on that subject. And when you have a wine and spirit specialist available, I know you have pictures. People are sending you say, buy this, and you're chasing brands. You don't know what year. It's better to use O.P.B, especially during O.N.D, October, November, December, to look up some of these great champagnes that are back in stock, and you can look them up, read more about them. Go to our website at www.abcfws.com or reach out to me via my website. Just follow the blog and you'll get an email back from me many ways. Remember, it's October, November, December, and wine is not for snobs, especially champagne. It's for everyday people like you and me, and people that are smart enough to use O.P.B, other people's brains. See you next time.